So if you're a technical professional or manager, for example, a cloud or security architect, or a DevOps engineer, or maybe a developer or a project or program manager, and you're thinking you might want to change your career soon, maybe to get a bigger job or look for the next level position, or just looking for a new challenge, then it's going to be important for you to know how to get noticed. Most people, when they want to go for a new job, will simply update their CV to include the latest details of what they've been doing recently, and then to start looking on LinkedIn or on the job boards to see what's out there. Some may have worked with recruiters in the past and might send their updated CV in the hope that it gets picked up by that recruiter. A few will be a little more proactive and actually pick up the phone or send an email or message them on LinkedIn. But most will simply apply for the opportunities they see advertised with pretty much the same CV they've had now for years. Let's just consider for a moment then what the challenge is in making sure that you get noticed. The vast majority of people involved in sifting through the pile of applications actually don't understand what you do. They'll be matching your profile up against a job description and probably have little or no briefing of what the job really entails or what the successful candidate is actually going to be doing. And increasingly, companies are using software designed specifically to sift out profiles based on set criteria that's been fed in. Sometimes these applications have a learning algorithm, but they'll only be as good as the people that have set them up in the first place. And this will hardly ever be the hiring manager. So, if you can't predict the criteria they have set up, you have very little chance of actually getting through. Of course, you would hope they would have used the job specification to do this. Have you read some of these? They're so often just a wish list of absolutely everything that could possibly be included and bear little or no resemblance to the actual job that's going to be done. So there are 3 ways I can think of that you can try to get a job. The first we've already looked at, and the other 2 require a completely different way of thinking. The standard CV tends to be functional and skills based. Sometimes there's an attempt to include a level of achievement, but to really get noticed you have to be completely achievement based in your approach. The idea of achievements in your profile is to get the reader to put down their coffee, sit up and take notice. And by the reader, I mean the hiring manager. When you're looking at achievements, there are 5 reasons why anybody is ever employed. And there are only 5. These are to save money, to make money, to save time, to save reputation, and to save the company. I know you may be able to think of others, but in essence they all boil down to just these 5. And so when you look at what you've achieved, then you are looking in context of one of these. For example, turning around a failing project. This is about saving reputation and money. Designing a more efficient network, saving money. Creating new products, making money and maybe saving the business. Business transformation program, well, that's saving time and money. I could go on, but I think by now you're getting the point. So what have you achieved relevant to the role you're interested to go for? That hits one of these selling points and that is going to really grab the reader's attention. And if this sounds a little bit salesy, well, that's because it is. You're selling yourself and what value you can bring to the company, to the team and to the hiring manager. What I see a lot of on CVs is people listing what they think are achievements, but they're actually something else. For example, someone might say, I was in the President's Club for 2 years running. Well, this is not an achievement. This is actually the award for an achievement. What he really achieved was being one of the top 5% of salespeople for their business. So he won new sales and revenues for the business. Now that's really the achievement. And for our purposes of grabbing the headlines, it's then only an achievement if he went beyond what he was expected to do. I mean, a salesperson is supposed to sell, right? So it's not a significant achievement just to make your target if others are blowing their targets away. A project manager delivering a project to time and budget, well, that's great, but actually that's what she's supposed to do. So the achievement that we're looking for is where she's gone beyond the simple delivering of that project. And it's also necessary to make it clear that there has been real value added. The President's Club example implies exactly that. You don't get the award unless you're in the top percentage of sales performance. But how about something like, I created a whole new sales stream for the company in an area they hadn't been able to break into previously? Or selling a new product in a greenfield environment with no previous track record? Or designing a new service that offered capability that were previously not thought possible, that led to a whole new sales stream, increasing revenues by however many million. Now let's look briefly at how you can present these achievements. This is all about telling a story, and a recognised format for doing this is a STAR presentation. So STAR, that's situation, what was the challenge or the issue, and what needed to be tackled. And then there's a task. This is what you had to do to deal with the situation. And then accomplishment. This is how you went about doing it all. And finally the result. And the result must be quantifiable. So to give you an idea of how this looks and sounds, perhaps these live examples will help. Turning a failing program into a billion-dollar pipeline. A transformation program director I've been working with was asked by his company to take over a failing government project. The project was for a government department and was for 100,000 workstations to be rolled out. And that included all the facilities, hardware, servers, operating systems, software, etc. This was a big program and it was valued in tens of millions. The company provided the solution, were very good at providing the systems, and their solution was one of the top in the market, but they didn't have the capacity or capability to roll out the project on this scale. So my candidate's company was asked to see if they could provide a delivery plan that would meet the original timeframes, and this individual was tasked to do this review. In 3 weeks, he was able to provide a proof of concept, roll out a pilot, and produce a full delivery plan. This was accepted, and my candidate then took over the management of the rollout, which was delivered successfully. And as a result, his company was given access by the UK government to projects and programme delivery that was valued at over $1 billion. So here's another example with a slightly different style, but still very much achievements-led and results-focused. This is about a technology leader with a passion for transforming businesses through digital solutions. On one occasion, he developed the digital technology architecture for a global media organisation that enabled 25 million of cost reduction for that business. On another occasion, for an energy company that had been through a change of ownership, he had to build an IT function from the ground up. Currently, that IT function had been fully delivered by the existing JV partner. So he had to create the vision, the operating model, the system architecture, and the roadmap to set up this new IT function in less than 12 months. Throughout his career, he has managed large teams, typically in excess of 100 people, to successfully deliver more than 15 system implementations, and built up the UK SAP practice for a global professional services company, taking it from 15 to 200 people in less than 3 years. So I think you can see from this that if managed correctly, achievements like this are a very powerful way to get your profile not only noticed, but actually to create a demand to know much more about you.